The sun cast a golden hue over Riverside Park in Elm City, where the annual Summer Jubilee was in full bloom. Laughter of children intertwined with the melodies of carnival music, creating a symphony of joy that filled the warm afternoon air. Families meandered through vibrant stalls, the enticing aroma of popcorn and cotton candy mingling with the scent of blooming flowers. 8-year-old Lily Harris maneuvered her wheelchair along the gravel path, her eyes sparkling with excitement as she absorbed the festivities around her. Her wheelchair, adorned with stickers of her favorite superheroes, was a testament to her indomitable spirit. Despite being born with cerebral palsy, Lily never allowed her condition to define her. Her parents, Michael and Sarah Harris, had instilled in her a sense of resilience and self-belief, encouraging her to see the world as a place of endless possibilities. Today was a special day for Lily. Her father, Michael, had promised her a day of fun and adventure, and she eagerly anticipated joining her friends at the playground. Sarah watched from a nearby bench, her heart swelling with pride as she saw Lily rolling towards the swings with unwavering determination. Michael, a former FBI agent, had seen the darkest sides of humanity. But Lily's unwavering optimism always rekindled his hope. As Michael sipped his coffee, savoring a rare moment of peace, the tranquility was abruptly shattered. Lily navigated the path towards the playground when her gaze fell upon a towering figure near the entrance. Officer Tom Richards, a local police officer known for his stern demeanor and aggressive approach, stood surveying the crowd. His uniform, once a symbol of protection, now seemed to emanate an unsettling aura of authority. Without warning, Officer Richards stepped directly into Lily's path, his expression darkening with an inexplicable anger. "Move aside, kid," he barked, his voice sharp and devoid of compassion. Lily looked up, her eyes meeting his with a blend of fear and defiance. "Excuse me, sir," she replied softly, attempting to navigate around him. But Richards blocked her way once more, his contempt palpable. The festive sounds around them began to fade as tension thickened the air. Lily's heart raced, her small hands gripping the sides of her wheelchair tighter. Before anyone could intervene, Richards raised his hand abruptly and struck Lily across the face. The slap echoed through the park like a gunshot, silencing the crowd in stunned disbelief. Tears welled in Lily's eyes as she instinctively touched her cheek, her spirit momentarily broken by the unprovoked act of cruelty. Michael's heart pounded in his chest as he abandoned his coffee, rushing towards his daughter. The sight of Richards towering over Lily ignited a surge of protective fury within him. He positioned himself between the officer and his daughter, his voice booming with a mix of fear and rage. "What do you think you're doing?" Michael demanded, his eyes blazing with determination. The park, once a haven of joy, now buzzed with whispers and murmurs of outrage. Bystanders began recording the incident, capturing the officer's heinous act on their phones. As more people gathered, the atmosphere shifted from confusion to collective indignation, setting the stage for a battle that would shake the very foundations of Elm City. As the initial shock settled over Riverside Park, the murmurs of onlookers grew louder, morphing into a chorus of indignation. "Justice for Lily" became the rallying cry, echoing through the trees and bouncing off the colorful tents. The crowd, once dispersed and enjoying the festivities, now converged around the scene of the assault, united by a shared sense of injustice. Michael knelt beside Lily, his hands gently wiping away her tears while wrapping an arm around her trembling form. "It's okay, sweetie. I'm here," he whispered, his voice cracking with emotion. Lily nodded, her small body seeking comfort in her father's embrace, though the fear in her eyes belied her attempt at bravery. The arrival of more police officers responding to the escalating situation only intensified the tension. Officer Richards, despite the growing opposition, attempted to maintain his composure, his facade of authority beginning to crumble under the weight of public scrutiny. Michael, recognizing the shift in the crowd's sentiment, felt a flicker of hope amidst his rage. He knew that this was more than a personal battle. It was a fight against a system that allowed such abuse of power to go unchecked. As the crowd swelled, the voices of support and condemnation intertwined, creating a palpable energy that charged the atmosphere. People from all walks of life stood shoulder to shoulder, their solidarity a testament to the community's resilience. Parents held their children close, teenagers voiced their frustrations, and local business owners displayed signs of solidarity, each gesture reinforcing the collective demand for accountability. Michael's phone buzzed incessantly with messages of support and videos capturing the incident. The digital evidence was irrefutable, spreading rapidly across social media platforms and ensuring that Officer Richard's actions could not be easily dismissed or forgotten. The weight of public opinion pressed down on the police force, forcing them to confront the gravity of the situation. In the midst of the chaos, Michael's resolve solidified. He could no longer stand by and watch as his daughter and others like her were subjected to such cruelty. The community's unwavering support emboldened him, transforming his protective instincts into a fervent quest for justice. The day that began with laughter and joy had irrevocably changed, marking the beginning of a movement that would challenge the very essence of authority in Elm City. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the park, Michael knew that this was only the beginning. The road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but with the support of his community and the unwavering love for his daughter, he was prepared to fight for the justice Lily so desperately deserved. In the days that followed the shocking incident at Riverside Park, Elm City found itself engulfed in a wave of activism and demand for change. Videos of Officer Tom Richards' assault on Lily had gone viral, sparking conversations about police brutality and systemic racism that resonated far beyond the city's borders. What was once a local tragedy had transformed into a symbol of a larger struggle for justice and equality. Michael Harris, now thrust into the spotlight, found himself at the forefront of a burgeoning movement. He received invitations to speak at rallies, community meetings, and media interviews, each platform amplifying Lily's story and the urgent need for reform. Despite his initial reluctance, Michael recognized the importance of using his voice to advocate for those who had been silenced for too long. One afternoon, as Michael returned home from a community meeting, he found Lily engrossed in a school project. Surrounded by papers and art supplies, she was creating a poster that read, "Stand up for what's right." Michael couldn't help but feel a swell of pride as he watched her articulate her own form of activism. "Do you think this will help, Daddy?" she asked, holding up her creation with a shy smile. "I want to share my story with my class. I want them to know that it's okay to speak up, even when it's hard." Michael knelt beside her, admiring the heartfelt message she had crafted. "I think it's perfect, Lily, and I believe it's going to make a difference, just like you have," he replied, his voice filled with conviction. Her determination mirrored his own, reinforcing his belief that together they could inspire meaningful change. As summer transitioned into autumn, Riverside Park became a central hub for community activism. The scars of that fateful day were still visible, but they were now symbols of resilience and unity. Memorials were erected in honor of Lily's courage, and the park itself was transformed into a space for reflection and hope. Local businesses played their part, displaying "We Stand with Lily" signs in their windows, signaling their support for the movement. Peaceful marches and candlelight vigils became regular occurrences, each event reinforcing the community's commitment to justice. The once quiet streets of Elm City now thrummed with the collective energy of a populace determined to hold those in power accountable. Michael's advocacy extended beyond public appearances. He collaborated with local civil rights organizations, helping to draft proposals for police reform and participating in discussions aimed at dismantling the systemic issues that had allowed Officer Richards to abuse his authority. The support from various sectors of the community provided a robust foundation for the movement, ensuring that their voices could no longer be ignored. Yet, amidst the progress, Michael faced personal challenges. The relentless media attention and the emotional toll of the fight weighed heavily on him and his family. Lily, though resilient, struggled with the trauma of the incident, her once bright spirit now tempered by the shadows of fear. Michael sought solace in the support of friends and the unwavering love of his family, drawing strength from their collective resilience. As the movement gained momentum, Michael realized that their struggle was part of a larger narrative, one that echoed the demands of countless others fighting against injustice. Riverside Park had become more than just a place of pain. It was now a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of community solidarity. With each passing day, Michael and Lily moved closer to a future where justice was not just a fleeting promise, but a tangible reality for all. The courtroom was a battleground where the fight for justice would be formally waged. As the trial of Officer Tom Richards commenced, Elm City held its breath, the eyes of the nation fixed on the proceedings unfolding within the walls of the courthouse. The air was thick with anticipation, the weight of the moment palpable, as supporters and detractors alike awaited the outcome that could redefine the city's future. Michael Harris sat in the front row, his hands clenched tightly in his lap, his gaze fixed on the judge as she entered the courtroom. Beside him, Lily remained seated, her presence a quiet pillar of strength despite the emotional scars she bore. Sarah Harris sat beside them, her face a mask of determination and concern, embodying the resilience of a mother whose love knew no bounds. Across the aisle stood Officer Richards, his demeanor a stark contrast to the man he had been accused of becoming. The once confident and authoritative figure now appeared weary and subdued, the arrogance stripped away by the gravity of the charges against him. His lawyer whispered hurried counsel, but Richards' eyes betrayed his unease as he took his seat, the reality of the situation settling in. The prosecution, led by the formidable attorney Carla Ruiz, wasted no time in laying out the charges: assault, abuse of power, and violation of civil rights. Ruiz's commanding presence filled the room, her voice unwavering as she addressed the jury. "This case transcends the actions of one individual," she declared, her words slicing through the tension. "It's about holding those in power accountable and ensuring that no child, no matter their circumstances, is subjected to such cruelty." As the trial progressed, witnesses took the stand, each testimony weaving a compelling narrative of Officer Richards' unchecked aggression. A local father recounted the moment he witnessed the assault, his voice trembling with the memory of his daughter's tears. A teenage friend of Lily's spoke of the fear and confusion that had rippled through the crowd, their accounts painting a vivid picture of a community betrayed by those sworn to protect it. The defense, though earnest, struggled to dismantle the mounting evidence. Officer Richards' actions were captured on multiple videos, each clip a stark reminder of the brutality inflicted upon an innocent child. Ruiz expertly highlighted the systemic issues that had allowed such abuse to flourish, emphasizing the urgent need for reform within the Elm City Police Department. When it was Michael's turn to testify, the courtroom fell silent, every eye turning to him as he took the stand. His voice, though steady, carried the weight of his anguish and determination. "I am an FBI agent," he began, his gaze meeting each juror's eyes. "But more importantly, I am a father. 2 days ago, my daughter was attacked by someone who was supposed to protect her. That moment shattered our trust, and ignited a fight for justice that we will not waver in. Lily's presence in the courtroom was a poignant reminder of the human cost of Officer Richards' actions. Her quiet strength and unwavering support for her father underscored the personal stakes of the trial, transforming it from a legal battle into a deeply emotional quest for accountability and healing. As the trial drew to a close, the courtroom was charged with a mix of hope and apprehension. The jury's verdict would not only determine Officer Richards' fate, but also set a precedent for how Elm City addressed police misconduct. The community watched with bated breath, united in their demand for justice and the hope that their collective voice would lead to meaningful change. The hours of deliberation felt like an eternity as the jury retreated to decide Officer Tom Richards' fate. The courtroom was silent, the tension almost tangible, as the participants awaited the outcome that would define the future of Elm City and the lives of the Harris family. Outside, the courthouse steps were a sea of supporters, their collective breath held in anxious anticipation. Finally, the foreman stood, the weight of his responsibility evident in his measured steps towards the bench. Clearing his throat, he began, "We, the jury, find the defendant, Officer Tom Richards, guilty of all charges, assault, abuse of power, and violation of civil rights." A collective sigh of relief swept through the courtroom, followed by murmurs of approval and nods of affirmation. Michael felt a surge of emotion, a mixture of relief, triumph, and the beginnings of healing washing over him. Lily squeezed his hand, her eyes shining with a mixture of gratitude and newfound hope. Officer Richards was led out of the courtroom, his demeanor subdued and defeated. As he glanced back at Michael and Lily, there was no trace of defiance left, only the hollow resignation of a man who had finally been held accountable for his actions. The crowd erupted in cheers, their voices rising in unison to celebrate the hard-won victory for justice. The judge announced the sentencing date, promising that justice would be fully served. For Michael and Lily, the verdict was not just a personal triumph, but a beacon of hope for the community. It signaled a turning point, a moment where the voices of the marginalized were heard and respected, and where systemic change began to take root. In the days that followed, Elm City experienced a whirlwind of transformation. The media spotlight intensified, with news outlets across the nation covering the trial and its implications. Headlines hailed the verdict as a significant step towards ending police brutality, while activists praised the community's resilience and unwavering demand for accountability. The Elm City Police Department responded by announcing a series of reforms aimed at preventing future abuses of power. Mandatory racial sensitivity training was implemented, and an independent oversight committee was established to investigate cases of police misconduct. While these measures were a start, many felt that more comprehensive changes were necessary to address the deeply ingrained issues within the department. Michael continued to advocate for further reforms, partnering with local civil rights organizations to push for meaningful policy changes. His efforts were met with both support and resistance, but the momentum of the movement made it clear that Elm City was committed to reshaping its approach to law enforcement and community relations. Meanwhile, Lily began to reclaim her life, slowly returning to her routines and engaging more with her friends at the park. The emotional wounds of the assault were still present, but the love and support of her family and community provided a foundation for healing. Michael watched with pride as his daughter displayed a newfound strength, her resilience inspiring everyone around her. As the city moved forward, the events at Riverside Park became a defining chapter in Elm City's history. The community's collective action had not only brought justice for one child, but had also ignited a broader conversation about power, accountability, and the importance of standing up against injustice. The victory was bittersweet, marked by the pain of what had been endured and the promise of a brighter, more equitable future. In the aftermath of the trial, Elm City began to breathe a collective sigh of relief, tempered by the realization that the journey toward meaningful change was just beginning. The sentencing of Officer Tom Richards was a monumental step, but Michael Harris knew that true reform required sustained effort and unwavering commitment from every corner of the community. The police department, now under intense scrutiny, embarked on a series of reforms aimed at fostering transparency and accountability. Mandatory racial sensitivity training became a cornerstone of their new policy, emphasizing the importance of understanding and respecting the diverse community they served. Additionally, the establishment of an independent oversight committee ensured that future incidents of misconduct would be thoroughly investigated and addressed without bias. Michael continued to play a pivotal role in advocating for these changes, leveraging his experience as a former FBI agent to navigate the complexities of law enforcement reform. He worked closely with local activists, community leaders, and policymakers, striving to create a framework that would prevent abuses of power and promote a culture of respect and dignity within the police force. Riverside Park, the site of the tragic assault, underwent a transformation of its own. A memorial plaque was installed near the playground, honoring Lily's courage and symbolizing the community's resilience. The park became a gathering place for support groups, educational workshops, and peaceful protests, serving as a constant reminder of the need for vigilance against injustice. Lily, too, found her voice in the ongoing fight for change. Inspired by her father's unwavering dedication, she became a symbol of hope and determination for her peers. Her school project, once a simple poster, had evolved into a broader campaign encouraging children to speak up against bullying and discrimination. Her story was shared in classrooms across the city, inspiring other young minds to advocate for what was right. As autumn gave way to winter, Elm City saw a blossoming of solidarity and unity. Local businesses continued to support the movement, displaying signs of solidarity and participating in community events. The streets were filled with the hum of conversation and the shared goal of building a more just and equitable society. Despite the progress, challenges remained. The path to comprehensive reform was fraught with obstacles, including resistance from within the police department and ongoing debates about the best strategies for change. Michael and his allies faced pushback from those who were invested in maintaining the status quo, but their determination never wavered. In the quiet moments of the night, Michael reflected on the journey so far. The pain and fear of that day in Riverside Park had been transformed into a powerful catalyst for change. The support of the community and the resilience of his family fueled his resolve, reminding him that the fight for justice was not just about one incident, but about creating a legacy of equality and respect for future generations. As the city moved forward, the bonds forged in the wake of tragedy grew stronger. Elm City was no longer defined by its darkest moments, but by the collective strength and unwavering spirit of its people. Together, they were building a new tomorrow, one where justice was not just a goal, but a reality for all. Spring brought with it a sense of renewal and hope to Elm City. The once tumultuous streets were now adorned with blooming flowers and vibrant greenery, symbolizing the city's rebirth and the blossoming of a community united in purpose. Riverside Park, where Lily had endured her painful ordeal, had transformed into a sanctuary of healing and remembrance. Michael Harris stood on the park's main path, watching as children played and families enjoyed the sunlit afternoons. The memorial plaque dedicated to Lily gleamed in the sunlight, a testament to her courage and the enduring spirit of those who had rallied behind her. The park had become a beacon of resilience, a place where the community came together to honor the past and embrace a brighter future. Lily rolled her wheelchair with a newfound confidence, her laughter echoing through the park as she joined her friends in games and activities. The scars of that day still lingered, but they were tempered by the love and support that surrounded her. Michael felt a deep sense of pride as he watched his daughter reclaim her life, her strength inspiring everyone who knew her story. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of gold and purple, Michael and Lily sat together on their porch. The air was cool, and the distant sounds of the city were a gentle reminder of the ongoing journey they had embarked upon. Lily leaned her head against her father's shoulder, her voice soft yet steady. "Do you think things are really going to get better, Daddy?" Michael turned to her, taking in the hopeful glimmer in her eyes. He wanted to promise her that the world would change overnight, that the shadows of fear and injustice would be banished forever. But he knew the truth was more complex. "I think it's going to be hard, Lily," he replied honestly. "But I believe we've already made a difference, and if we keep fighting, things will get better. Not just for us, but for everyone." Lily nodded, absorbing her father's words. "I want to help make things better," she said, determination shining through her tears. "I want everyone to know it's okay to speak up." Michael smiled, his heart swelling with pride. "And you are, Lily. You already are." As the seasons continued to change, Elm City embraced its transformation. The reforms implemented within the police department began to bear fruit, fostering a culture of accountability and respect. Independent oversight ensured that misconduct was addressed swiftly and transparently, restoring the community's trust in those sworn to protect them. The Harris family became pillars of the community, their story serving as a powerful reminder of the impact one family's courage could have on an entire city. Michael continued his advocacy, mentoring others who sought to drive change and support those affected by injustice. Lily, now a symbol of hope and resilience, inspired countless individuals to stand up for what was right. Her voice a beacon of strength for the vulnerable and voiceless. Riverside Park remained a central gathering place, a symbol of both pain and triumph. Community events, workshops, and memorials ensured that the lessons learned from the past were never forgotten. The park's transformation mirrored the city's journey, a reflection of the collective effort to build a more just and compassionate society. On a particularly serene evening, as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Michael and Lily walked hand in hand through the park. The shadows that once represented fear had been replaced by the light of unity and progress. They stopped by the memorial plaque, Lily tracing the engraved words with her fingers. "It matters, doesn't it?" she asked softly. Michael nodded, his eyes filled with emotion. "It does, Lily. It matters because we stood up, and together, we changed something." As they continued their walk, the warmth of the night enveloped them, symbolizing the enduring bond between father and daughter, and the unwavering hope that propelled Elm City toward a brighter, more equitable future. Their journey was far from over, but with each step, they moved closer to a world where justice and compassion prevailed, ensuring that no one else would have to endure the pain they had faced. And so, the story of Michael and Lily Harris became a testament to the power of love, resilience, and community, a beacon guiding Elm City and beyond toward a new beginning, filled with hope and unwavering determination. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss any of our latest videos. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Thank you all for taking the time to watch, and see you in the next video.